Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Beyond the Arc podcast. Dallas, as always, joined by Levi. Levi, how's it going?
Pretty good. Good time of the year.
Absolutely, March. We all love it. So let's get down to business and let's start off with some news we have to get through here. First of all, Jacoby Gillespie, first team All SEC, 18 points, 5.6 assists per game. Nate Ament, second team All SEC, 17.4 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 2.4 assists. Felix Okpara, SEC All Defensive Team, 1.4 blocks per game, four plus block shots three times in a game. Levi, any thoughts on that?
I thought they did a really good job with the postseason's awards this year. Other than the only thing I think I would have changed was I would have had Bucky McMillan as the coach of the year.
He was
I
coach
did
of the year. I
not
didn't say it.
Todd Golden. Uh, I would have went Cal or Bucky. I thought Cal did a great job this year with the squad he's got. But Bucky lost his only true elite NBA level guy early in the year and still put together, I think they ended up being what the tied for fourth or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, and then getting like the sixth or the seventh seed. But regardless, I that's the only one I have any argument with. I agree with Nate at second team. I thought Tyler Tanner from year one to year two just took a huge step, and man, he's a heck of a player. And honestly, the type of guy I would love to have it point guard for us at some point in time in the future. Obviously, not going to be Tyler Tanner, but I really like his game. So I think he was a well-deserved first team guy, and I don't think there was much of a question with uh, Acuff being the SEC Player of the Year. But we were both wrong about that. We both thought that Malik Thomas was the one that was going to be the superstar on their team. But I mean, Malik Thomas still had a great year as well. It's just somehow Acuff just turned it on, and he was a heck of a player this year. So I'm not mad at all about what they went with, other than possibly Coach of the Year. But I think Nate had a great year, and I was actually very surprised to see Jacoby first team. But he puts the fear in hearts of a lot of teams, and you could tell that with the way that they guard us and the way they try to just basically take him out of the game. So it's well deserved for all the guys. And Felix, we both had high hopes for him this year, and all defensive team is good. It's great. But I had higher hopes. I thought, maybe we could see a third, second, even all SEC team, first team all SEC team. But these awards are getting tiring, Dallas. I don't know if you saw who won Big 12 Player of the Year. Just a travesty that they would do that to Debon stuff. But these awards are just it's growing old. I mean, I saw a thing earlier that showed that who was the preseason SEC. Not one was right. Not even one was close, actually. So yeah, it grows tiring, but it is what it is. It's very rare that they get them right. So
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned Jacoby being kind of surprised that he got on the first team. Before we move on to the coming week, I just want to kind of get your thoughts on Jacoby's recent struggles. I mean, a lot of people are saying that he seems to be tired down, wore out. And I mean, possibly, but I mean, all of his shots are long. They're not being short. I mean, that maybe if he's compensating the legs being wore out with his arms and maybe shooting a little too hard, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Jacoby Gillespie and his recent struggles?
who's that over in the bottom left corner there? Is it old Todd
I
peeking in
believe that
again?
may I believe that may be our old friend Todd Golden.
Mm. No, I don't. Recent struggles. Nate Ament's not on the court right now, and it's pretty easy to game plan for us. I mean, you saw the game plan for Vanderbilt. It doesn't matter who it is, what we run. It worked a couple times where you'd loved to have seen. It's that typical little Rick Barnes, little flare screen that he likes to run, where he makes the entire defense on baselines out of bound play, or under the basket. I'm sorry, out of bounds play. Think that we're going to throw a lob, but in reality, we're just kicking it to the corner for our best shooter. We did it with Dalton. We did it with Chaz. We're doing it for Gillespie. We've done it all year. He missed a couple of those against Vanderbilt. He missed a couple of those against South Carolina. But past that, it's easier to guard him right now. When your sidekick, I guess you could call Nate Ament, or your Batman, however you want to look at those two, is on the sideline and not playing, and they don't have to worry about him. It was very clear watching the Vanderbilt game. South Carolina, it didn't really matter, but it was very clear what Vanderbilt's entire goal was to do, and that was to make it really, really hard on Jacoby to get any decent looks. And I felt that he at times faded a little bit. He couldn't really ever get his legs underneath him because I mean they didn't care. I mean, who else was out there that And then that helped Amari Evans have a career game uh, and have a really good basketball game. And you have to give credit to Amari for that. He played hard, but I don't see anything of fatigue or any that's just so crazy that you think that a guy that's in tip-top shape. I mean, we have the best strength and conditioning program in top three in America for basketball. Our guys are never tired. And the whole they wear their legs down. Well, if that was true, then Houston wouldn't have played for the national title last year, played for a Final Four the year before, because they do the same thing. Samson does the exact same thing we do. We play hard defense. And uh, just to bring it up real quick to highlight it, Brent Hubbs said it in the most laughing matter ever the other day, that it's hilarious that people think that our guys miss shots because they're going down and playing so hard on defense when they're missing shots 3 seconds into 3 seconds left on the shot clock, which we've ran offense and things like that. Like our guys are not tired, man. It's just we're missing shots, and that's kind of part of the game sometimes. And when you don't have your other guy out there to relieve some pressure, it's going to be a lot easier on the defensive team. And give credit to Vanderbilt; they have the perfect lineup. They switch 1 through 5, and that's one thing Byington has really always been a big guy on. Possibly why Jalen Carey's wearing orange. But there's nothing to the whole thing about he's tired or anything like that. He just had a bad game and he missed some shots. And if he goes 4 for 11 and we win the game, it is what it is. But he went 1 for 11 from three, so it has nothing to do with fatigue or defense. So
I tend to agree, especially. I mean, if he was tired, I don't think he'd be taking 11 shots. You'd probably see him more in the 6, 7. I did not mean to do that on purpose. I did not mean to do that, but yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, coming up here, I'm going to have a little bit of a long-winded speech, just previewing this upcoming week, and then I'll ask you, Levi, your thoughts. I mean, moving on. Tennessee will face the winner of the 12th seed Auburn, the 13th seed Mississippi State to open SEC play. Two teams that the Vols have already beaten this season, of course. The fate of that game, whoever Tennessee plays, most likely hinges to me on the status of Nate Ament. If he's able to go, Tennessee can easily beat both of these teams. If he's limited or completely unavailable, it could be a struggle. Mississippi State, um, it means unfortunately you have to see Josh Hubbard once again. But with the recent play of Amari Evans, and you have Bishop Boswell, and even Ethan Berg is getting some minutes and looks okay on defense. That should mean you have enough to bother him and kind of let the other guys beat you. And I don't think they can. So Tennessee should be able to pull out the win if it's Mississippi State. And then if it's Auburn, that means that you see former Vols Stephen Pearl on the sidelines once again. Rick Barnes is 1-0 against Stephen Pearl, as we all know. And you would have your hands full with Overton, Freeman, Petterford, All, and Murphy. It wouldn't be easy with or without Ament. But ultimately, I do think the Vols advance to play Vanderbilt. And there's nothing really we can say, Levi, I don't think, that we haven't already said about Vanderbilt. It would just be repeating the same stuff. Tyler Nickel, the big guy, McLaughlin, I think how you say his name. Those are the guys you're going
yeah,
to have to worry about. And you're going to have to, I mean, we got to get something out of Jalen Carey offensively. I mean, I know I saw Rick Barnes says, if he scores, he scores. We just want to see him out there defending and rebounding. And while I agree, you don't really want Jalen Carey to go out there and take 12 shots. I mean, you're not looking for him to be your offensive leader, but we got to see him clean up some of these around the rim with a putback. A lot of times he'll pass it out, and maybe because he's worried about getting blocked. But if you're going to be in the SEC, you can't really worry about getting blocked. You just got to go up with it, dunk it, get fouled, whatever you got to do. All right, Levi, there was my um, Montecopper. I think it's how you pronounce say that. I'm not sure, but what you
It's
got to
pretty
say there?
close.
Yeah, it's
Oh no,
pretty close.
I agree with you. Okereke can't beat you again. The fact that I meant to mention that in our my last little Vanderbilt rant, but Okereke can't be the guy that goes and gives Vanderbilt 17, starts the game with 10 points. So the first 14 they score, and you're down 15-2. But with Nate, it's a lot easier to play that team, man. And it's just the truth. And we fought and fought and fought at Vanderbilt, and yeah, but to get to Mississippi State and Auburn, I don't want to see him. I don't like seeing Mississippi State on the court with us in the SEC tournament after what they did to the Dalton Connect and all those guys. I mean that was one of the that was brutal. You're the one seed. They just absolutely destroyed you. But I'd much rather see Mississippi State unless if Hubbard goes for 50 and beats you, then am I going to be mad? Absolutely not, because then I got to watch Josh Hubbard go for 50. So, even if it is on my team, I'm not going to be mad about that one. I will be mad if Auburn beats us, but I do agree with you. I think we play Florida in the semifinal. We'll see how that goes. I've seen crazier things happen. I've seen huge one seeds have, which I would say Florida's a huge one seed at this point with the way they've played recently. I've seen them struggle in conference tournaments and then have it turned back on. But Florida needs to lose one. I'm telling you, you cannot keep running them up in the regular season. It's very rare that you run through a regular season, have a great year, run through your tournament, and then you don't get upset at some point in the NCAA tournament. So uh, I don't know exactly how this SEC tournament's going to go, and I really don't care. Uh, as much as I hate to say that, because for a while there it's like, man, I just really want one, and then we won one, and I was like, don't even show back up. I don't even care what we do in that tournament. So, but I do believe we play Florida in the semifinal, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw the other night against Kentucky in Rupp, of course, but I think you saw Florida is they're not unbeatable. I mean, you can beat this Florida team. They Kentucky had them down at times, not down like in the scoreboard, but they had them. It was a closer game that had all right of beating. I think at the end, Kentucky wound up losing by like 14. But there was a time there where it was a
Yeah,
4 6 point game, and
yeah, a
a
couple times.
couple of different bounces, and that game could look totally different at the end. So I mean, this isn't the Florida team that had his name is blanking on me. Walter Clayton Jr. This is not the Florida team that had Walton Clayton Jr. Just going to as you're doing this, they're not going to choke you out. You'll have a chance. You'll
They
have a
didn't choke
chance.
anybody out, to be honest.
No,
UConn had them beat in the NCAA tournament last year. Texas Tech had them absolutely ready to go, and then Texas
yeah,
Tech blew it. I mean, Walter Clayton hit some good shots. He's still not a better all-time NCAA tournament run than Kemba Walker was, but he's up there for sure.
yeah. And before we move on, did you see the clip today from Tennessee's practice with Jalen Carey
Did
absolutely tackling JP Estrella? It that gave me a good laugh, and hopefully JP's okay. He seemed to be so.
be all
I
right.
just had to I just had to bring that up. Okay, moving on. We're going to do some ACC and SEC and Big Ten and Big 12 conference tournament predictions here. Starting off with the ACC, I'm going to go with an upset here. I initially filled out a bracket that had Duke win it, which is easily the consensus pick. But I'm going to zag while the others zig and give my pick to Miami. I just really love the job Ja Lucas is doing down there. He's like I said last episode, some of the stuff he says is Rick Barnes, it's copy and paste. And that Miami team has really overachieved. They dropped one to Louisville the other day that they probably had no business of dropping. But give me Miami to upset Duke in the championship game. Levi, who do you have in the ACC tournament? I'm going to assume Duke.
No, I don't know if you saw, but Duke lost their starting point guard today.
Caleb Foster.
Yeah, he's if you've watched Duke a lot this year, I get it. Boozer and Evans are the guys, but they got to have somebody to formulate. And what have I told you about the ignition and the engine? And when you don't have anybody to start that ignition, things can get a little fuzzy. His usage is fourth on the team, which is when you think of usage, it's typically like how much the ball is in said person's hands. Well, when you have the playmakers he doesn't need the ball in his hands as much to facilitate and create. But I'm actually not going to take Duke to win the ACC tournament. Uh, I'm I've been back and forth. I'm kind of in on the whole Miami thing a little bit. But I think I'm going to take Virginia to get it done. I think that on a neutral court, not having to play at Cameron, if they, which I believe they'll end up playing Duke. I think Virginia gets it done. But if Miami does win the ACC tournament, what seed do you think that they would? Because I've seen them projected 10, I believe.
If they're 10 and they win the ACC tournament, I mean, I know the committee has
You could
pretty
at least
much,
move them to an 8-9 matchup, right?
yeah, they've pretty much shown the committee has that they don't take much into granted and into account in the conference tournaments once you get
A
to
lot
the
of that's for your
championship.
top 16 type
Yeah,
teams, though. Like these lower
yeah,
seeds, they get to kind of climb a few seed lines. So
yeah. Maybe a eight. I could see them getting an eight and
I
possibly
could
a
see it.
seven.
I could see it, and yeah, I love the Miami pick. You and I both, Jai Lucas, he's a heck of a coach, and he recruits well. He's the reason that Duke was, which I thought was the reason that Duke was recruiting so well under Shire, and now they're still recruiting well. But yeah, I'm going to take Virginia just because of it's going to be hard for them to start the ignition, and I don't know that they're going to get their point guard back by the time that it really matters in NCAA tournament. And I think that takes a big hit to Duke. I know it's not Carlos Boozer. I know it's not, you know, a Nate Amit type injury, but it's definitely a heavy hit.
All right, and moving on to the SEC. There's not much to say. Florida, that's what I'm going with. Arkansas, I think, has an outside puncher's chance if they make it that far, but ultimately, Florida is probably the winner. I mean, uh, Tennessee, personally, I think could be maybe like third in the pecking order of teams that could win it. I think it's Florida, Arkansas, then probably Tennessee. Maybe Vanderbilt's in there too, Alabama. But give me Florida, Levi. Who you got in the
It's
SEC?
it's either Florida or Tennessee because we're the only team that can match up size wise with Florida down low. Vanderbilt will get destroyed. Arkansas is finesse down low. Bama is they got Sherrill. He's really good. I like him a lot. But past him, they don't have Betty Yako. Uh, so it's either Tennessee or Florida. And it's definitely Florida, for sure. And Todd Golden's the type of guy that he don't care. He wants to win everything, and I'm all for that. I think that's a great mindset to have, but I also think at times it's a little overrated to win the SEC tournament. So
Yeah, Todd is wrong hand. Todd is very happy down here. And moving towards the Big Ten, Michigan. That's who I'm going with. I thought about going against consensus once again with Michigan State, or even Nebraska, but I think it's very unlikely. Just give me Michigan to probably win it comfortably. Levi, Big Ten, what's your pick?
it's March, brother.
You going Izzo?
It's January, February, Izzo, April. So I'm gonna take Izzo to get it done.
All
I,
right.
I really like Michigan State to win the Big Ten tournament. I was gonna say Purdue, but then I started to move around some weapons in my bedroom and decided not to.
All right. And finally, the Big 12, probably in my opinion, the toughest to pick out of the bunch. I could realistically see the 1 through 3 seeds winning it. Without topping, I don't give Tech much of a chance at all. But in a Houston Arizona final that I think it's going to be, I have Houston barely, and I mean barely squeaking out the win. I could see a 1 point, 2 point win for the Cougars. I mean, there's been some rumors out there that Kelvin Sampson may be looking to hang it up at the end of the season. I'm going to go with Houston getting Kelvin maybe his last Big 12 conference tournament title, if it is for sure his last season. So give me the Cougars. Levi, who do you have in the Big 12?
hard for me to pick against Houston, but I'm going to go crazy here and say UCLA.
So, yeah. Nick Cronin
Like,
would absolutely die on the court.
never mind. That's Big Ten. That's Big Ten.
I wasn't gonna say anything because I myself I was like, is he? Is it? Mm.
I can't forget. I can't remember the daggone conferences at the moment, dude. I just went mind blank. Oh, Nick Cronin. Jeez, dude. Oh, you can tell it's been a little bit of a time change over here on the Eastern side, I guess you
Yeah,
could say.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just give me Arizona.
Okay, Arizona,
Yeah,
or I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
put in
I
front of
went back to the old Pac-12, and I was just like, give me UCLA, and I was like, no, not that team from the old Pac-12, the other team from the old Pac-12.
I'm putting Arizona, UCLA in parentheses. All right, now moving
Hey,
forward with
if UCLA wins the Big Ten, then I win the Pick'em Challenge.
well, yeah, I'll give it to you.
All
All
right.
right, and moving forward to like you just mentioned our pick 'em results for the year. Excuse me, Levi, you went 3-0 this week. That
Yeah,
Louisville win
we needed it. We needed it. We
needed it.
finally got the Louisville win too. We were, I think, 1-5 on Louisville picks, so we finally got the one we needed.
Yeah, I went 2-1. You know, the final results, we went 61.7% as a show, just combined. I went 66.4, I believe, what it was. I'll have it in the actual graphic when I post it. But final results are I went 40-20. I like that even numbers. Levi, you went 34-26. So there
It's
was a
not even
six.
bad, dude. Last
No,
year was way worse.
yeah, yeah.
Last year was horrible. So that's
Yeah,
not bad at all.
I was ashamed to even post it. I mean, last year, but yeah, I think it was a great year for us, and I'm ready to win the tournament. Pick a tournament bracket challenge and go move to 4-0 against you, Levi. You got to beat me sometime, man. It's just got to happen.
I'll figure it out. I'll maybe keep track of these picks for to
Uh,
win conference tournaments, and
yeah.
I think I got a good shot
All
to win
right. So
something.
moving on now to what we call. What do you want to talk about before we wrap up here, Levi? I'm gonna say a word. You tell me if this rings any type of bell. It's just something that's going on in the world. Dolphins.
Tua Tagovailoa went to or they signed Malik Willis.
No, no, no. This is
Dolphins. You
even
said Dolphins.
yes, Dolphins. You don't go "Ah!" Those things.
Okay.
This
Okay.
goes even further. A Florida sheriff clarifies that no Dolphins kidnapped anyone to build an underwater city. Dolphins are back
Oh,
in
I
the.
saw that. I
You
did
saw
see that.
this? Yeah. At
Yes.
first, everyone was running with it like this is legit. This is real. A guy was kidnapped by dolphins to build an underwater city, and the sheriff has to come out and say, "Yeah, no, sorry to bust anyone's bubble. There's no dolphins building an underwater city," which I 100% could see being something like a C, a B level movie being made out of this.
100%. It's gonna
Have
be
you
like
ever
Cocaine
seen?
Bear.
Yeah. Have you ever seen House Shark?
No, I have no idea what House Shark is.
It's a in that vein. It's a great movie. It's one of my favorites. It's definitely a cult classic. It looks like
Not a
it's
shark.
shot.
Sharknado.
No, it's about like that. It's shot on a phone. Basically,
Oh,
is what
okay.
it looks like. And a guy's house has a shark in it. Like it
Okay.
just roams around the
Like,
house.
it's just his whole house is just water, or what?
No, there's no
Or
water
like
in it.
it's just a walking shark.
Oh, it's not even walking. You never see legs. It just kind of floats. And Abraham Lincoln's in
Okay.
the movie. You yeah, you gotta watch
That's
this movie.
it must have been one of your cousins up there in Kentucky that made that movie after hitting the pipe a few times.
Actually, there is a scene in my town that's filmed in my town. You can see the Estill County Courthouse in the one of the scenes. It
Estill County Courthouse.
you can see it. You can see it. It's when I watched it, I said, "Is that? I know this place." And I rewound it, and yes, it was the Estill County Courthouse in the movie. I was hoping they would make another House Shark, but apparently they're done. There was also another one that Corn Shark. They made one with a shark in a cornfield. I believe.
Have you ever seen Cocaine Bear?
Yeah, yeah, I've seen Cocaine Bear.
Okay,
That's
I'm pissed about that movie because like we only got to see the bear like for like 8 minutes of the entire film. That's why Sharknado is better because you at least get to see a freaking tornado with sharks in it for like most of the movie.
yeah, Cocaine Bear. Actually, the alleged real Cocaine Bear is taxidermied in Lexington. You can go see the actual
I
real
mean,
real bear.
I'm sure they got it hung up in Rupp.
It's a he's standing up, I do believe, and he's wearing like a top hat. But anyway, that wraps up this week's episode of the Beyond the Arc podcast. We'll be back next week with our brackets as they come out on Sunday. Any prediction, Levi, on Tennessee's final seed?
Uh, uh, Tired, boss.
All
I don't
right.
know. I mean, it's gonna be a 5 or a 6. I'd much rather have the 5. Um, I think a win against a pretty bad Mississippi State or Auburn team, and then a nice win over Vanderbilt probably keeps you in that 5 line. Some of the better bracketologists that I follow have us pretty much cemented into a 6. I don't want to be a 6 because I've seen how dangerous those Dayton teams for some reason are. It's like they get that one little extra lift going into the actual tournament, and they're just a tough team to play. But I do believe this team would be perfectly fine as a 5 or a 6. I think we're 100% capable when healthy to beat a 3 seed and get to a Sweet 16, and then hopefully we're a 5. We get to play a 2. I don't want to play a 1 seed, but at the end of the day, I still think this team will be fine. I also do believe that this NCAA tournament's not going to be as chalk as the last 2 have been. So you never know what's going to happen. We could be one of the teams put out early, but I do believe that Gillespie's going to really have it honed in. He's played well on neutral floors for us this year, so we'll see what happens. Come, I guess we play Thursday, right, at 3.
Yes, Thursday at
Yep,
3,
Thursday at
man, I
3. Hey,
believe.
show the podcast your shirt.
Well, I'm
Oh,
gone. I'm disappeared.
yeah, you disappeared. It's a
Um,
banger. It's
yeah, yeah.
it's ghost faced with it says slashing down the lane.
Flashing through the paint, I think what it says. Yeah, but it's pretty
Whatever.
pretty
You
cool.
can read better than I can, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, you want to talk about us Kentuckians, and I can
East
read.
Tennessee, East Kentucky. It's about the same dang thing.
True, true, true. All right. I think we need to get somebody, some type of water company to sponsor us because I'm tired of giving this, and then even got a brand on it. I'm tired of
I
giving
was about
them
to say
free.
it probably just says water.
Yeah, I'm tired of giving them free publicity. But anyway, that'll be it for this week's episode of the Beyond the Arc podcast. Thanks for watching, everyone, and next week it's gonna be a good one. So go Vols.
I'll see, brother.
See you.